Hi everybody, I'm Ed Wright. Bill Schrambling and I were friends for over 45 years. Today we are here to honor his life. The shock of our loss is slowly diminishing, and another life lesson is sinking in. Life is uncertain, precious, and something we need to enjoy the last days, months, and years of our lives. Bill and I had a long and weird relationship. Beyond our business relationship, we were competitive and combative. Together we fished, we played cards, we golfed, we played pool, but our favorite pastime was debating. If he said white, I said black. If he said up, I said down. If he thought left, I thought right. Politics was our major battleground. In the last 2 years, before his death, I don't think there was a single day we didn't spar over political events. And yes, we remain friends. Good friends. Years ago, we took a houseboating trip on the Delta. There were 3 couples. Shortly after we started, we had boat problems. Before that, Bill and I had entered into a fishing contest. We decided to flip coins and see who would have to swim to shore and find help. Gene and I lost, got in the water, and went over to find help. Bill, however, stayed on the boat and shortly after our departure started fishing. When my wife Judith questioned him as to if the fish he thought should count for the contest, Bill looked up at her and simply said, "What would Ed do?" I guarantee if I had gone first, Bill would be sitting here with his favorite news source over his left shoulder, telling you that I was a closet Democrat. I won't go there. The last time we had lunch was in San Rafael with Judith and Elaine, and for the first time in probably 25 years, we didn't discuss politics. We had lunch, we had a nice visit, we talked a little bit, and we joked. And the joke was basically a vow to outlive the other and to be able to give the eulogy at the other's funeral or remembrance. That seemed a lot funnier on that day than it does today. Early on in our business relationship, we were discussing business, and I expressed my concern about our growing debt at US Audio. Bill looked at me only the way Bill could, gave me that Bill Schrambling look, and said, "Ed, when you owe $1 million, you're a millionaire." I am still scratching my head over that one. A few years later, I was interested in a piece of property out towards Jenner, and I asked Bill to come along. As we approached the house of this old man, he came out onto the porch, and I introduced myself, and within seconds he looked over at Bill and asked if I was his father. Bill got a huge kick out of that, and in the last 30 years has probably introduced me as his father at least 100 times. Early one morning, Bill and I met in Corte Madera to play golf. We had done that on several occasions. It was a little 9-hole golf course, and when we got there, there was a sign on the door that simply said, "Go ahead and play your round, pay us when you're done." There was only one problem. Bill didn't have any clubs. I came up with the bright idea that let's just play with my set, and whoever lost the hole would have to caddy for the other person. Well, after about 6 holes, Bill finally won one, and I got to caddy. As we approached the next green, and we were about 75 yards away, Bill turned to me, stuck out his hand, and said, "Give me a 9-iron." I handed him the club. Bill took a big whack, and as the ball sailed about 50 feet over the green, he turned to me and said, "Wow, that's the farthest I've ever hit a..." And he saw the grin on my face, and he knew he was had. Bill and I decided many years ago to play in the Miller Lite pool event in Las Vegas. For some reason, Judith and Elaine let us go alone, and Bill got the bright idea that we'd room together, which was insane because we were both horrible snorers. But anyway, as we get in line, we look around and notice that we are standing in line with lots of drag queens. And upon questioning them, we found out that there was a gay pride event in the same hotel. As we approached the clerk to get into our room, Bill took the reins and carefully explained that we wanted 2 beds and a extra long explanation why. On several occasions, Bill joined me on business meetings, and they're usually with banks. And I would always be amazed to watch Bill in these meetings. Now, Bill Schrambling was a guy that if you asked him what time it was, he would tell you how to build a watch. And in these meetings, he would start to talk, and I would look over, and their eyes would start to glaze over, and pretty soon I knew we were going to get a positive result. One of Bill Schrambling's passions was ESOPs. Many years ago, he talked me into one at then US Audio. I wasn't crazy about the idea at the time, but I can tell you, looking back on it, it was wonderful for Judith and myself and for our employees. And I certainly thank Bill for the stick-to-itiveness and efforts he put in to twisting my arm to make that happen. I'm conflicted as to what I miss more after Bill's passing. I love the competitiveness and the debating just for the sake of debating. I miss those many, many phone calls that would always start out, "Hey, big boy." And our phone calls never ended in the traditional manner. They ended one of two ways. Either Bill would hang up on me, and I had far too much class to hang up on him. I would simply go, he got the idea. Shortly after Bill's death, I got an email from another good friend, Daryl. He expressed his sorrow for my loss and attached the following. It takes a minute to have a crush on someone, an hour to like someone, and a day to love someone, but it takes forever to forget someone. Goodbye, big boy.